Hi, my name is Terence and welcome to Building Blocks English. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about past habits and routines. In this video, we're going to talk about the verbs used to and would. These are two ways we can talk about habits in the past or routines in the past. This is a follow-on video from last week's video on past simple and past continuous. This is also considered a past tense as well. We're going to learn how to use these and why we use these. First of all, let's look at the form. In the positive statement form, we say, I used to play tennis every Friday. This verb consists of the verb used to and the infinitive play. So we often say used to plus infinitive. You might want to use an adverb of frequency like every Friday, every weekend, once a week, or never. With the other pronouns, it is exactly the same. I used to, you used to, he used to, they used to. In the negative statement form, we can say, I did not used to play tennis every Friday. You need to be a little careful here. If you look at the verb use, it doesn't have the D on the end. The past simple is indicated in the auxiliary verb did in this case. So we say, I did not used to play tennis every Friday. We still say used to plus infinitive. With the other pronouns, I didn't used to, you didn't used to, he didn't used to, they didn't used to. Don't forget that we would use the contraction didn't for did not. In the question form, we say, did you used to play tennis every Friday? So like the negative statement form, the use here doesn't have the D on the end. It is indicated in the auxiliary verb did. With the other pronouns, did you used to play? Did I used to play? Did he used to play? Did they used to play? It is always the same. Notice the pronunciation of used to. In a sentence, we tend to say used to. Used to. I used to play tennis every Friday. Did you used to play tennis every Friday? Yes, they used to play tennis every Friday. Used to is pronounced used to. So, why do we use this form? Well, we use it to talk about habits and routines in the past. So, for example, I used to go to the beach every weekend with my family. I used to go. Used to is very, very flexible. We can use used to plus infinitive with both action verbs and state verbs. So, for example, I used to believe in Santa Claus until I was 7. In this example here, believe is a state verb, so we can use used to. This is a good choice if you're not sure if the verb is an action verb or a state verb. If you're not sure about what these are, make sure you check out the video on action verbs and state verbs. Now let's talk about would. In the positive statement form, we would say, I would do my homework before watching TV. We use would plus base verb. Here's a tip. Would is a modal verb. Okay, this thing here is a modal verb, would. Like will, can, can't, should, must, may. And typically, we say modal verb plus base verb. Okay, the base verb is the infinitive without the to. So we would say things like will play, must go, can do. With the other pronouns, it is exactly the same. I would do, she would do, they would do, you would do. In the negative statement form, I would not watch TV before doing my homework. I would not watch TV. Don't forget to use the contraction wouldn't in this case. Similarly, with the other pronouns, it is exactly the same. I wouldn't, you wouldn't, they wouldn't, he wouldn't. In the question form, would you watch TV before doing homework? Would you watch? It is a little unnatural to use would in the question form. It is more natural to use used to in this case. Did you used to watch TV before doing homework? So, we use would plus base verb for exactly the same reason. We use it to talk about habits and routines in the past. So, for example, I would go to the beach every weekend with my parents. And as you can see here, we have an adverb of frequency, like every weekend. But be careful. We can only use would with action verbs. So if we use the same example as before, I would believe in Santa Claus until I was 7. Unfortunately, this sentence is incorrect because believe is a state verb. In this case, you have to use I used to believe in Santa Claus until I was 7. So, that concludes the lesson. It's not a very long one, but there are a couple of things that you do need to keep in mind. First of all, we can use past simple, used to, and would to talk about habits and routines in the past. When we use used to and would, it tends to indicate that the past habit and routine is no longer true today. So if we say, I used to play tennis every Friday, it means that today you do not play tennis every Friday. It could mean either you don't play tennis at all, or that you now play tennis on Wednesdays instead. When we use past simple to talk about past habits and routines, it has no reference to the present. And that is one of the definitions of past simple. It is a completed action in the past, and it is not relevant at all in the present. So, I played tennis every Friday when I was young. It has no bearing on what's happening today. Do you play tennis today, or do you play tennis on a different day? It doesn't matter. No one is going to be talking about that. However, in reality, the difference between using used to and would versus past simple is not that important today. No one would really care whether you use past simple or used to, and whether there was a connection to the past or the present anymore. So feel free to use whatever you like. However, make sure that if you use a state verb, that you use used to and not would. That is the end of the lesson. I hope you found this lesson very useful, and I hope you can keep on watching. If you would like more information on this topic, feel free to check out the link in the video description below. Thank you very much for watching. Please tell your friends, hit subscribe, keep on learning, and see you next time.